Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ship Talk with Jen and Ross. I'm Jen, your cruise bestie. With me is my podcast partner, Ross.
Ahoy, sailors!
And we have got a fun episode for you today. We're going to be talking all about
Some pretty cool stuff. Like what's
Mhm.
included on a cruise? What should we skip? Or what's a must-do on board? Are they
As
worth
far
it?
as amenities go. The
Yeah,
amenities that
amenities,
you're going to find on Virgin Voyages.
what you get, what you advance to, and also what you could buy your way into. And is it worthwhile to buy your way into those things? And I think it's really important because you're going on a cruise not just to see these locations, you're going to an all-inclusive asterisk hotel. And we got to break that down a little bit. And I think that was a really good idea that you came up with, Jen. I really like this one.
Thank you to ChatGPT
Yes,
for
they're
helping
helpful.
me organize all of my brain thoughts.
There's another gallon
Um,
of water wasted. Thank you, ChatGPT.
you're welcome. I really care about the environment over here with my soda. Um, so before we get into it, do we have any questions from last week we want to get into? Any big
You
news
know,
in the cruise industry?
one of our fans reached out to you because yesterday was a very special day, Jennifer. It
I
was
don't
your
know if I'd
birthday.
say it was special.
I mean, isn't it's your name day. Come on, it's a big day.
It is.
And he made a little video. I don't know if I think I sent it to you. Do you want to show it to our
Let's
amazing
see.
fan base? I think it was pretty cool.
Let's see.
And this is going to set a standard from now on. All questions must be in video form.
We from now on, if you are sending us a question, this is what we expect
Note
from
the hammock in the background. And that is
all right.
Evan from New York.
Let's see if the sounds I don't know if the sound's gonna work, but apparently it's your birthday too, Ross.
You know what? It's your birthday, and I love that. I love that one of our fans
Sharing
reached
a
out.
birthday.
Not the best video quality, but we're going to give him a pass. He's a good guy.
Thank you, Evan.
That is the famous Evan the pilot you may have heard of on previous episodes. Um, so, we talk to our friends and our clients all the time about Virgin because we're such big Virginites, Virgin heads. We bleed red, we bleed scarlet, as we would say at Rutgers University. And these ideas every cruise is different, and it's what you make of it. And we could go top to bottom, bow to stern about what makes the cruise amazing. But let's talk about what you get when you step aboard Virgin, what's included, because I think that's a really big deal. That's a great place to start. It's just what's included.
Yep. So, everything that's going to be included in your fare is soda, water, basic things that most cruise lines do not include in your cruise fare. Internet access. Now, the
Basic
level of
Wi-Fi.
internet access will vary depending on which pricing tier you're choosing for your booking. But the fact that you even get internet access at all is great because on Carnival, Royal, any of those, you're going to be paying $20 to $30 a day to access
hmm
just bare bones. I need to keep in touch with people at home through text message, internet. And on some of the cruise lines, it doesn't even work unless you're on iMessage or WhatsApp. Uh, most of us have iPhones. I don't know how it works on Android because I haven't cruised with an Android in a while, but
Or as we call them, greenies.
yeah, we don't like green bubble people in this household. Um, so basic drinks, Wi-Fi, all of your food is going to be included. All of your um, shows, entertainment, exercise classes. A lot of cruise lines like Princess, they will charge you more for the specialty workout classes. So things like your bungee class, Zumba is generally included, but some cruise lines will charge for that. Things like the bike, what's the bikes called? Spin
Spin class,
classes.
very good. Jen
Those
and I are
are
huge fitness
included.
nuts, and that was more a quiz for the audience.
Yeah. I did know what that meant. I don't do it. That's why I couldn't think of what the name was. So all of those things are going to be included in your cruise fare. But on top of that, there are lots of other things that you can do on the ship that do cost a little bit extra, and that's what we're going to be diving into today. Things will vary depending on the ship, and this is specifically for Virgin. We're not going to be talking about Celebrity or Princess or any of those in this episode, but um, we're going to focus on 3 or 4 main amenities. So the first one is going to be the tattoo parlor that's on board. The tattoo parlor is on every single ship. It does cost extra. We'll get into that a little bit more in a bit here.
That is on my to-do list on my next cruise.
I've got a plan for my next one.
I'm gonna get inked. I think it's gonna be this cruise. I think it's gonna be
I keep
the
saying I'm gonna
last
do it,
seat.
but yeah.
My
We'll
wife
dive
said
in.
she'd hold my hand.
Well, I got this one. This was my first one that I got this year. Um, and it wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. So now I feel a little bit more brave to do it on the ship. But so that is one big attraction that is on all the Virgin ships. The layout's going to be different. The tattoo artists cycle through, which we'll talk about in a little bit here. And then right across from the tattoo shop on most ships, you're going to find High Street. High Street is supposed to replicate the high streets in London, and Europe. So it's basically like luxury shopping, all the different like shop areas of the ship. So you could find anything from um, pre-loved Gucci and Louis Vuitton bags, designer bags, to brand new bags. You can find makeup. Makeup brands differ depending on the ship because they all have different contracts. You can find just regular cruise essentials, things that you may have forgotten. There's a sundry store. So you got all kinds of different options. Obviously will cost you some money.
So we should mention also this is an adult cruise. The Sundry store has all sorts of
Adult
activities for you in
items.
your cabin, adult items. I tried on a Rolex and the guy was totally cool about it in the watch store. Now you can find beautiful watches there for a couple $100. You can find watches that are $16,000 and they will treat you with the same love either way. Um, Keep in mind, these are kind of authorized resellers, but that is not walking into a Rolex store. That is not walking into a Prada store. You're walking into a secondhand store that might have firsthand things. And it's important to
And
recognize that.
yeah. And the other thing too is all of these purchases are going to be tax free when you're purchasing them on board because the stores are only open when you're in international waters. So you're a lot of people will do this to buy those things to not have the tax added onto it.
I believe, Jenny, correct me if I'm wrong, that the gift shop itself, the Virgin branded gift shop, is open the morning of the end of the cruise. I could be wrong on that. It might
Mm-mm.
have been something because I was the only time I remember seeing it was the first mate cruise because I happened to breeze by, and that could have been why. And that's for
Yeah.
their merch.
Well, when I went to Brilliant Ladies launch, it was not open when we were in the port. And when we got off the ship that morning, it also, or the last day, it also was not open. So I
Right.
think they're being a little bit more strict now about the stores are only open during times when we're out at sea.
There's
Um,
also some store booths down by the social club as well, um, where they
yes.
sell some original artist items, and they did some things that I'm not a fan of, like gold by the inch, and things of that nature, but they do sell it, but they're not making a big deal about it.
Yeah.
If you don't know what gold by the inch is, just Google it, um, it and understand what you're buying.
Yeah.
Um,
It's nothing exciting. Um,
But if you hit big in the casino and you wanna burn some cash, go down to High Street. It's a lot of fun, and the people who work there are super sweet, and you can kind of tell the weather coming based on what is packed out in the merchandise store, because we were on a cruise and it dropped really cold one night, and they sold through hundreds of these sweatshirts in one
Yeah,
night because of
yeah.
that.
Also, if you hear my dog barking in the background, she has a neighbor friend that she can hear outside, and she's
Is that our little Scarlet Lady?
it's not Scarlet, it's Leia.
Lady
Scarlet has
Leia.
not figured out how to bark yet.
That's okay. Maybe she never will,
Um,
and that's okay.
I was hoping that with Leia, and then she got brave. There's a pit bull behind us that she likes talking to.
Now,
But
Jen and I are gonna go over things that we like and certain things that we just wouldn't do. That this doesn't mean you shouldn't consider it, it's just the experience we had. And a big one that I don't understand the value of, and Jen, I'm very curious your take on this, is the on-board. I don't know what to call them. If I was at Bimini, I would call them the little huts. What are they called?
cabanas.
The
They're
cabanas.
cabanas.
What's your take on the cabanas up on 15
No,
that are not facing the pool, that are just facing the
no.
sea? I don't see value there.
I don't see value even in the ones facing the pool. They're they're not in a good location. Um, people like my mom, she buys the cabanas when she goes to the Caribbean. Her and her friends, they love it because they have guaranteed shade. Um, to me, I don't see the point, and they're stupid expensive. Like,
I think they're 250 for 4 hours, and that's not the ones by the pool, that's the ones on the side,
and
that's the
that's not
small one.
even like if you want it for Scarlet Night, it's even more expensive. And what's the point of having a cabana for Scarlet Night?
With people standing in front of you.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So,
Now, I think though, on Brilliant in Alaska, you're gonna see those sell out, because if it's
yes,
the inside passageway day, I could see those selling out for that purpose,
but
especially, but there's always a but,
the athletic club has so
is
much
beautiful.
good seating now. It's a great free option to view, but if you have a bigger group and you wanna be able to all sit together and have a quieter spot, the cabana might be a nice option. You don't get any bar tab or anything with it. I think you get, like, maybe a bottle of champagne to split, and that's it. I don't even know if they're still doing that anymore.
What you get is a
Um,
waiter. You
yeah,
get
you get
you
a
get a
waiter.
waiter, which is
You still have to
nice.
pay for your drinks.
Yes.
So it's basically just guaranteed shaded seating for $250, and it's not worth it. Now, cabanas when you're in Bimini,
Totally worth it.
if you have a big group, I think it's worth it. I think if
Okay,
you're
so
not in a big group.
here's the magic of the Bimini, because we've done it. I've done it every time except once, and that'll be the time coming up. And if you have more than 4 people, totally worth it. You're gonna get a $100 bar tab, so there's your first round for everybody. If
Yes.
you're going just you and another person by yourself, totally not worth it. But if you meet another couple on board and you're like, "Hey, do you guys wanna split this?" Or a group of solos. I did that when I was a solo sailor. I said the first night, "Does anybody wanna go on a cabana? We can have a maximum of 6 people, easily 8, nobody's gonna bother us. If you're interested, let me know." It's $110 a person, and I'm happy to be the facilitator of it, but I gotta get a guarantee count. And we did it, and we had a blast because we had our own waiter all day, and the drinks
Yeah.
were just flowing all day. It was great.
I could see that's the problem is I'm normally not traveling with a huge group. There was one time we did, but not everyone came to Bimini in that group, so it didn't really make any sense, because they weren't really pool people. So, if you're going in a big group, definitely get one in Bimini if you're going to the Caribbean, but on board, it's just
I don't
not
see
worth
it.
the money. No.
Now, let's say you're a group of people and you are in a s insider studio and the 4 of you wanna do it, so you get that balcony time, absolutely. That's where I see value to do it.
Yeah, and even then, it's like, there's so many again, the athletic club, there's so many places you can go and sit. And it's not like it's really private. You've got
You know
probably
what
10 different cabanas.
you know what's a secret, I think a secret great spot is I want to say deck 6. There is so much seating on deck 6 outside
And no
around
one
the
goes
entire
down.
ship, and no one goes in there. But I will tell you a great free activity to do on deck 6. You're going to want to remember this one. Deck 6, you figure out which side of the boat is the docking side, and you want to figure out where to stand for the running of the late arrivals. That's the spot to be to watch the people running down the pier
Yeah,
because and another free activity that's included with Virgin.
yeah.
Please be on
Very free
time when you're back to
activity,
your
and
ship.
you're pretty much guaranteed to see someone every single time.
Oh my
Um,
god.
okay, so other amenities that are on the ship, the spa. This is one that it's a paid amenity, but it's there. Um,
And there's
and I
2
think
different
it's
spas, so we're clear. We should mention there
what's
are
the other
2.
spa?
Well, there's the Redemption Spa and the Thermal Spa.
I call that all the same thing because they're all the
Okay.
same area. Yeah. So Redemption Spa, um, I think it's kind of controversial because there's some people that see the value in it and there's some people that don't. I personally would most likely not get a service done unless I had an absurd amount of sailor loot to spend, um,
Or you
that
hit
I
it big
couldn't
on the
get.
slot. Right.
Yeah. They're just for what you're getting, although I have some clients that love it and they get acupuncture done every single time. Um, but I just don't see the value in the service because the one time I had it done, it wasn't on Virgin, I had it done on Princess. I just was like, I really overpaid for what that experience was, and then they had me laying there after my massage trying to sell me all this stuff. My friend even on our last trip, she went and did it because it was her 40th birthday. She's like, "I'm gonna splurge. I'm gonna go do this fancy salt massage or rock massage." And she loved it. She said it was a great experience, but she ended up spending hundreds of dollars on product on top of because they got her. Um, so keep in mind the spa employees are not employees of Virgin. They are employees of another company that contracts with all of the cruise lines. Um, so they're totally different. But what I do think is worth it in the spa is the thermal suites.
I absolutely love the Thermal Spa. I think it is
They
so great.
are even if you're not gonna use all the rooms, because I think Ross and I agree on this, we don't use all of the rooms. Some of them are
I
just too
don't
much.
I'm not into dry sauna, and I do not do the
And
cold plunge that you should not
I
do. If
couldn't do
you
the
are
wet
over
sauna.
a certain age, do not do the cold plunge. It can really mess with your
I
the rhythm
did
of your
love
heart.
the cold plunge, um, but to me, it was like the pool that's in the thermal spa is so cold, you don't even need the cold plunge. It's like it's not a relaxing pool, in my
But the
opinion.
hot tubs for 2 are nice.
Yes, I do like the hot tubs, but there are only like 1 or 2, and you're gonna end up fighting over them, kinda like the big hot tubs out on the outside. What I do think is worth doing is the salt room. That salt room
I could spend the
was
entire day in
magical,
there. Yeah.
and I actually just found I was telling Ross this the other day, I met someone that's opening up a salt room here in Las Vegas, and I'm like, "Get me in as soon as you open," because that I have never felt better than when I was in that salt room. I have never breathed better. It was magical.
So a salt
Um,
room is between 80 and 90% humidity. It's usually around 80 to 90 degrees. It's warm in there, but not oppressively hot. It's not a sauna. And the water, though, that they're pouring in the humidity is salted. And usually it's got salt tiles, or is a giant piece of Himalayan salt that they've carved into. And you just sit and chill. I've had some of the
yeah.
best conversations ever in a salt spa.
Yeah. We were making all kinds of friends in this like, the time that we went in there the first time, like, no one was there to relax. I mean, they were, but we were all, like, talking. It was not like a quiet, everyone sit there awkwardly in silence experience. Um, so I loved that. I did love the mudroom. Um, I was not expecting to like that because it's dirty, and I don't like dirty, but,
So
not like cleanliness dirty, but, like, putting mud on you is weird.
we go we go hot tub to just decompress, or the salt stones to sit on, the heated salt stones, which are great. Then we go to the mudroom.
Yeah.
We mud up, we hang out in there for like 20, 30 minutes tops, shower because we're showered there, and then right to the salt room, and then spend an hour in the salt room.
Yeah. And the heated benches, the marble benches that are out looking out at the water, my friends liked doing the sauna and all the other like the steam sauna and the dry sauna. They were like doing the whole thing. That was not my thing. I couldn't really breathe very well in the sauna, and then my glasses would fog up, and I couldn't do it. And
And
I
we
can't
should
see like
mention
a hard.
that clothing is required in the spa, just so we're clear. You do have to wear a
Yeah,
bathing suit in the thermal spa. It is
yes.
not clothing optional.
So when my
Um,
friends were doing all of that, I just went and hung out on the marble benches with my Kindle, put like a little towel down. They're all heated. It was magical. Um, so getting the day passes are definitely worth it. Or if you have Splash of Romance, you get a pass included for each of you. If you're a solo sailor that buys Splash of Romance for the other perks, you only get one day pass, which is very
yeah,
unfortunate. But
we need to talk to our BDMs about that. That's an
yeah,
insight. Um, but
yeah, because it's
Splash of
unfortunate.
Romance is one of the best values. You get early access to the ship. You get a bottle of bubbly. You get the thermal spa. You're going to get snacks in your room a couple times on the cruise, and you're going to get invited to a Splash of Romance meetup, which is nice as well.
So the value of the spa pass, if you're going to purchase it day by day, it varies depending on whether you're on a port day or a sea day, but it's going to be anywhere from like 60 to $80 depending on what day it is. It is absolutely worth every penny, but I highly recommend getting the Splash of Romance package if you can, and then adding on a second day on a port or on a port day, because the port days are going to be cheaper. So that's what we did, and it was great. You can also get a week-long pass, and I think they give you a discount. I've got clients that do that every single time. And they spend most of their time in the spa. They love it.
So that again, those are added amenities. And as Jen mentioned, the redemption spa is pricey. You can pre-book some stuff or at least see the pricing before your voyage. It's definitely a treat yourself item. So if you go to Hand and Stone, I think, which is a national chain for massages, you're going to pay about $70 for a 45-minute to 1 hour massage, give or take. That's going to cost you over $300 on the ship.
And
Just to give you some fair warning.
they do offer specials for if you're doing it on a port day or if you're booking the day that you get on board, they'll give you like an extra 30 minutes or, whatever. Um, but that's how they got me on Princess, and I ended up not getting the discount. It was like a whole thing. So just make sure you're looking at the itemized receipt, make sure they're not charging you for anything extra that you didn't ask for. Um, and excuse me, if you're going to book a spa pass, make sure you go down there the day that you board because book it in time blocks and they don't let you just go in whatever you want. Um, and they sell out. So make
Right.
sure you're doing
The
it
only
first thing when you get on
the
board.
and they leave room at all times for 12 open spots all day for the mega rock stars because they can come in as much as they want. That's part of the perk of being a mega rock star. So I would love to know the cost of the thermal spa week pass.
I think when my friends did it or my
It's got to
clients
be
did
three
it,
plus per person.
yeah, I think it was about, well, they did it I don't know what it was this last time because this last time they did a back to back. But the first one they did was 5 days, and I think it was like 350 a person
Right.
for the 5 days.
Yep. That adds
So
up quickly.
that's, yeah, $70 a day. I think
Yeah,
they do give you a discount.
sure.
But yeah.
Another
Um,
thing, when you go to the thermal spa, bring your water bottle with you.
yes,
It's
they
just
do
nice
have water
because
in there.
they have little cups, but that's about it. And you're going to want to have water with you.
Yeah, they had like a thing of spa water in there, which was like cucumber and lemon with little tiny cups. But bring a water bottle.
So, Jen, let's talk about dining because dining is totally included with an asterisk because
Well, not
each
even
of
really with
the
an asterisk.
no, I'm talking about the treat yourself.
It's gone now.
Treat yourself is gone too.
That's what I heard.
I know that they were doing away with the
Sip and
sip
savor.
and savor. I didn't know they were doing
Yeah.
away with treat yourself as well.
I
Interesting.
haven't confirmed it, but I
I'll be
wouldn't
able to
be
do it
surprised.
in 8 weeks. I'll be able to tell you that. 7 weeks. I'll
Yeah.
be able to answer that
So
question.
asterisks on that, most of it's included. The treat yourself may or may not be there, but sip and
I
savor is
think the raw
definitely
bar will still be an add-on though.
yeah. And the raw bar is only there the beginning of the week.
First 2 days.
Yeah.
Caviar,
So
however, is available the entire cruise in the sip lounge.
yeah. So there's little things like this that you can purchase throughout your trip on various places of the ship, um, to make it extra if that's what you're really wanting.
To
Um,
elevate.
and who
That's the
doesn't want to make their vacation extra? Like I go crazy doing that. The other thing we should talk about is the Virgin Voyages brand store. Um, because that is where I get myself in trouble every time I am on the ship. I go
but
nuts.
Jen, why would I go there when I can just go to your merch shop and buy my
Well,
Virgin
because
merch from you?
my merch shop is not live yet, and my merch shop is not Virgin Voyages branded. My merch
Okay.
store is inspired, meaning everything is red.
Kind of like the scum kind of like the Scum and Villainy cafe in Hollywood that looks an awful lot like a cantina in a movie that's set
I
long, long ago
love
in a
that
galaxy
place.
far, far away. Yep,
We
me
went
too.
there we went there for, Star Wars Day one year when we lived in
Oh my
LA.
god, you got in?
It was so much well, we went early. Like, we went really early to make sure we got in, and it was so much fun.
So,
Um,
we're going on a total sidebar. Kevin grew up in the town next door to mine. So,
who
I
did?
knew him, Kevin Smith, who
Oh,
hosts his podcast there. And
yeah.
while I know him, he doesn't know me, he knows of me because 'cause we've bumped into each other a couple times. We had a common friend at a funeral that he showed up at because it was one of his people, that was
Yeah.
I was in high school with, named Mark Costello. I miss you, Mark. Thinking of you all the time. Um, and so we're totally going off tangent on a tangent, but what Jen is getting at is that Jen's gonna sell a lot of red things and other things that I'm gonna buy because there are 7 days on the cruise, and you better be live by my cruise, because I need
It'll be live by your Alaska cruise, not this next one.
maybe I can test drive some stuff in this first one. Maybe you'll
You
make some
can.
custom merch for me. Cool.
Yeah.
Um,
You guys can be my models.
but going back to the branded store, because the branded store has special things for each ship, for each lady.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you can get ship-themed shirts and jackets, and I went insane on the Brilliant Lady store. I
The
have an
ships,
obsession with yeah. I have an obsession with Spirit jerseys. There is so much stuff in the brand store that you don't wanna miss. If you forget a jacket, they've got great jackets. It is a little bit pricey, but it's worth it. So make sure you check that out. Yeah. So they've got things like the ships, they've got collectibles, they've got ornaments, keychains, customizable things. So
shot
pretty
glasses.
much anything you can think of. Yeah. Okay. Outside of the merch store is where you're gonna find the tattoo shop. We'll dive into the tattoo shop now. Um, so Squid Ink is the name of the tattoo shop, and you're gonna have guest artists going in and out of the shop every voyage. Some of them are there for a month, some of them are there for less, some are there longer. It just kind of depends. But you can either get a custom tattoo, so bring an idea, get it done on the ship, or they have a flash sheet, which starts at about $200, um, anywhere on your arm or your leg, and for the size that it is on the flash sheet. If you want it bigger, it's going to cost you a little bit more, but um, it's a cool little way to have a little memento of the cruise.
And we should say that when you book it, you are putting a deposit in, a non-refundable deposit. So I think the deposit is $200,
Mhm.
and if you don't show up, they keep the
You
money.
lose. Yep.
Yeah, and there is
And
also and there's people standing there all day in standby line. So,
yeah.
yeah,
So when you get on board at around 7 o'clock after sail away, that's when booking opens. So you want to be in line around 6:30 to make sure you can get your booking. If you want to get a booking done towards the end of the week. The end of the week is gonna fill up first because people don't wanna be in the water with their second skin on. They do use second skin if that's an issue for you. Um, I'm not a huge fan of second skin, but I can deal with it. So, um, definitely, like, make sure that you are you know how to take care of a tattoo, when you're out at sea. I've heard they don't give very good aftercare instructions to people that are first timers, so, just know how to take care of it, know that you can't get it wet, you can't b have it in the sun, um, and yeah, make sure you're doing it towards the end of your trip.
I mean, it is an amazing way to really honor your cruise. Like it's, I mean, a massage is an hour,
Yeah,
a tattoo's forever.
yeah.
Um, it is very popular. You cannot go in there and just watch. They will not allow you to. Um, so and don't show up late. You want to be there early for your appointment because if you're late, they might be like, "Sorry, you're beat." So now the the tattoo parlor is normally in the same area. It's all going to be by High Street, but it could be on either end of High Street depending on the ship you're on. Just be aware of
And
that.
Brilliant, it's in a weird spot. I was very confused when I went down there. So on Brilliant Lady, it's gonna be where the sundries shop was on every other ship. Normally on the other ships, the other 3 lady ships, you're gonna come down by On the Rocks, and it's right there. But Brilliant Lady, it's, like, hidden in a back corner, and it's, like, half the size of the other ships.
That's interesting.
It's very small.
I
Like, they
wonder
can
why that
only
is
do 1
so.
or 2 at a time.
That's very interesting being that they're sold out every cruise, but okay. They know something we don't know.
Yeah.
Now, what's your take on when we talk about included things versus not included things? I think things that people need to understand that are included also is there are going to be some things in your cabin that are included that are not meant to be taken. For example, there's going to be a red towel in your cabin. That is not a gift. It's a $25 gift if you take it with you. Um,
Same with the blanket.
Same with the blanket. Same with the bottle opener because there's a bottle opener in every cabin because you can bring 2 bottles of wine per cabin.
So the bottle opener you can purchase. It will have a tag on it. Same with the octopus. They both have a tag on it that says, "Hey, if you wanna bring it home, it's $25," or however much it is. You could also just go to the brand store and buy them down there,
Hmm.
a brand new one. Same with the blanket. If you want a brand new blanket, just go to the brand store the day you get on the ship because they sell out fast. Um,
And if
you
you
can
are in
get
a
the
rock
red one and the blue one.
And if you're in a rock star cabin, there's going to be a bar kit in your room with glasses, not plastic, but glasses. They do ask you to keep those glasses in your cabin because um, there's a limited number of those glasses. They're not going to charge you for them if they break or anything. Just let your steward know that you're missing one, or because they will, if you bring it up on deck to say the Scar Party, they're going to confiscate your glass for safety purposes and give you a plastic one, and you're not going to get that glass one back. So just make your life easy. Think about that.
Um, are we missing anything? I feel like that's all.
For included stuff, I'm actually looking on their page right now. I think you hit everything up. We got dining. Oh, I know what fitness is. We still don't know what that is. Entertainment, there's a little asterisk because a couple of the entertainment packages do cost money. Like another Rose is a drinking show. Bingo is gambling.
The dinner shows,
Lottery,
yeah,
Lotteria, you're gonna pay for because it's a game with alcohol, so they're gonna charge you. Uh,
yeah,
so yeah, I mean,
and bingo. You're winning prizes.
and you're winning cash prizes. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes other things, but normally it's just cash. And there can be games where
Seahorse
you win
racers.
champagne. Yeah.
Any of the gambling, any of the champagne tasting, beer tasting, wine tasting, any of that's gonna cost you a little bit extra, but for the most part, what you're gonna spend on board is gonna be very, very minimal, and if anything, it's mostly stuff you're gonna be shopping for.
Yeah.
So I say go in with a budget. I say that, but I tell myself I'm gonna do that, and I never do. So
Yeah. How's that
don't
working out
ask
for
me
you?
for don't ask me for advice on that.
No, I completely understand that because that's happened to us too. Where we're like, "Oh, our budget is $1,000. That's all we're gonna spend $1,000, including our alcohol." Good luck with
No,
that.
no.
But it's
Um,
vacation. Have fun.
yeah.
Treat yourself.
All right, I think that's it for this
Oh,
episode. I think we've covered everything.
you did mention oh, we were talking about, there was a part 2, which was, um, 2 types of itineraries that we've noticed. There's itineraries that are very, very port intensive and very, very not port intensive,
Yeah.
but that could be a
But I
whole
wanna
episode in itself.
do yeah, that's gonna be a whole episode in itself because it's a lot. And that
It
we can
really
kind of
is.
tie in we can kinda tie in repositioning cruises on that too, because I know I get a lot of questions about the repositioning, um, for my clients, so I'm sure everyone's got questions about what those are like and how they work, and back-to-backs. We can throw back-to-backs in that too. Uh,
We're
but
considering
yeah,
doing a back-to-back over Christmas this year. We're looking at it.
well,
It's gotta be right.
my client my clients just got off Resilient from doing a back-to-back on Saturday, and they loved it. They said it was super easy. Um,
And
they were lucky I
Jen
got them the same cabin for both weeks, and
and that's where we come in. Jen and I are both Gold Knot First Mates, which means we're travel agents, and among our portfolios includes Virgin Voyage. And when you're booking, we'd love you to book with us because we know the tricks and tips to not just do, but also to avoid, like those cabanas on the ship. But as Jen just said, if you go online and book 2 rooms back in 2 cabins in a back to
new
back,
cap
the odds of,
mhm,
the odds of you getting those 2 identical cabins, I'm not going to say it's zero, but it's pretty close to zero. Jen and I do
yeah.
not charge fees. We work for you. We're compensated by the cruise company. It's the same amount you'd pay on their page, except we know where to get you a better room. We know all the tricks and tips, and we're not going to charge you for it.
The thing with them too is they need an accessible room, so being able to know, "Yes, this is an accessible room for what you need in a good location, and we can get you to stay in the same room on a back-to-back." Just
Is
made their
gold.
lives a lot ea
I had a
yeah.
client who did back to back to back, and he liked it. He didn't love it because it was 3 short cruises back to back.
Yeah, you
His
don't
next
really wanna do
cruise,
it on
the next one they did was a 12-day non back to back. He said Scarlet Night was incredible because there was only one instead of 3 of them, and he had to move twice because he wasn't my client the first time, so he didn't know that we were even existed. So
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, my clients aren't big Scarlet Night people, but they did 2 of them, and I haven't
Scarlet
heard
Night
how
just
it
kind
was
of
yet.
pulls you in,
It
kind of just
does.
pulls you in. Yeah.
I don't think I could do 2. I think I like the longer itineraries with 1 better.
Hmm. And then you get a glam
Now
night,
that I've
and
done
you
a lot
get and a '70s night and things like that, which are a lot of fun.
yeah. And you know what's interesting is I did a longer one on Carnival back in the day, and I hated it. Um, but longer ones on Virgin, I prefer. And I don't know if that's just because 'cause I'm older now or if it's I mean, I'm sure it's the environment, but,
You're
there's
also a
just
more
not
seasoned traveler.
yeah. I don't know that I would do longer than 5 days on Carnival ever again. Like, even 5 days is pushing it. Um,
Well, I think part of that is that you can have a different beautiful dining experience every single day on Virgin. Even if you just did the galley, you can do a different dining experience every day
versus having
in
to
Virgin,
pay for a different dining experience on the other ones, yeah.
or eat the same buffet every single day.
Yeah.
That gets really tiresome very quick. To me, it gets very tiresome. I know people who love buffets. Great. It's just not my thing.
I rarely eat in the galley. Like, I haven't tried every place in the galley yet on
Oh,
all of
interesting.
my cruises.
But I bet you've been to the
It
pizza shop at least once.
yes, multiple times a day.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm not
And
judging.
the salad bar. My new thing is getting a salad and taking it to the pool, and it's
I like it.
delicious.
I like on sea
And then I
days
go
getting a
ham at dinner.
well, I like grabbing either a sushi bento box. My wife loves that as well. Or we'll go up by Richard's roof. If we're going to be in Richard's rooftop, we'll go up there and go and get poke balls right
The
there and bring
Sun
them
Club,
over
yeah,
and the Sun
yeah.
Club. Um, So, there's lots of things, and all the food in the galley, with the exception of alcohol, is included. Every restaurant, unless it says treat yourself or sip and
Yep,
savor, which they're getting rid of, is included.
yep.
Um, and you can't, there's no buying your way in or anything like that. Everything's included. They make it really easy. Oh, you know what we didn't discuss? A big thing that is an add on, splash for your bash. So if you're having a
Okay,
milestone
that's
on
one
board,
that I'm like, what's the
if you're
point?
celebrating an anniversary, surprise your partner with a splash of romance. Again, that's my
Yeah,
take. Um, and you can get just about everything you want to do on the birthday celebration from the Hallmark store and just tuck it in your bag and decorate your room yourself. Um, don't decorate with tape, decorate using magnets. They really prefer that. You don't want to put tape anywhere that you can get charged for.
yeah. So splash for your bash. Since we since we brought it up, let's talk about how not not worth it is. Um, it may be for some people, but splash for your bash, I believe it's $150. At least it was the last time I checked. I don't know what it is right now.
250.
Everyone in your party has to do it. So if you're traveling with 10 people for your birthday, all 10 people have to buy it for their cabin for $150. So what is included is bottomless brunch at either the Wake or Razzle Dazzle. Well, you already get that, but okay. If you don't drink alcohol, there's non-alcoholic options. Great. A dinner party with curated beverages and desserts. So you're gonna have like a special menu for your dinner, whatever night you decide to do that. Not sure that that's worth the extra cost. Um, it says a complimentary bubbly will be upgraded to Moet. So I'm assuming you get a bottle of Moet for it. Oh, it's
You get
$250.
250 per cabin. You get a bottle in your room waiting for you, which is nice. And if you're doing a bottomless brunch, it's bottomless, meaning you're getting unlimited alcohol. If you're
Yeah.
doing a celebratory dinner, they right now it says, and this is AI telling me that you get the treat yourself option, which is the meal within a meal. And you're
At
gonna get,
whatever restaurant.
yeah, whatever version. To me, I don't see the value of it. Some people love it.
No.
They say the value is upwards of $375. Great.
But I
But
think
if you
and that value is coming in from the treat yourself additions at the dinner party, and I think the dinner party is at the wake, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Celebratory dinner, venue specific chef selected sharing menus for the group. Venue specific curated beverage package for the group that complements the menu and the celebratory dessert. Um, I just for $250, go buy a bottle of Moet and pay for bottomless brunch. Like,
and
and there's
bring
a
a
lot of
Hallmark
people
card.
that yeah, there's a lot of people that don't like Moet or champagne, so it's kinda lost on them. I don't see the value in $250. And it's kind of the same, honestly, as Splash of Romance, because
Which one you see total value in?
for a really long time, I was like, no, Splash of Romance doesn't make any sense because I was able to offer priority boarding. And that's the biggest perk, I think, of Splash of Romance is getting the priority boarding. So I would tell all my clients, don't waste your money on this because you're going to get a cheaper price on buying your own bottle of Moet and your own spa pass if you're, doing it depending on what day you do it. And if you're not going to take advantage of the free juices, then there's no point. So it's kind of the same thing where like now I don't get priority boarding as a perk anymore because that's no longer offered. So now I'm like, absolutely buy Splash of Romance because that's a great deal to get you on board. Plus you get a spa package. Plus you get all these things. There's just not enough in a Splash for your bash to make the $250 worth it, in my
Now,
opinion.
Jen is saying priority boarding, and what that means is you want to be there as early as humanly possible that you are allowed. You want to get in that
1:30.
1 o'clock window, and as soon as
Yeah.
you get on board, you turn to your right. Literally, you walk on board, you get inside, you turn to your right, and there are going to be sailor services people right there doing dinner reservations, class reservations, all that stuff. You don't have to go downstairs to sailor services. You want to go right to them, unless you're a rock star, because they're going to come to you and get all that stuff done. You should have
Yep.
this all written down either on a notepad in your phone or on a piece of paper and just get your bullet points done because those are going to sell out unbelievably fast.
Yeah, and you could do it from your phone too. That's why I like the priority boarding is I go to the we talked about this last week. I go sit at Drought House and I book all my classes and all the extras that I want to do for the week. Um, because I'm one of the first people on board, so I have time to do that. And when you're coming on the ship at 3, 4 in the afternoon, most of the time everything's sold out. So
Especially on a shorter cruise.
yeah, having that priority boarding really helps.
I think
All
we got
right.
everything in now, Jen.
I think we
And
did.
if we forgot something, send us a message. You can
Yeah,
find us on all the socials at Cruising with Jen and Cruising with Ross, or of course Ship Talk with Jen and Ross. And we would love to hear your questions. You can find us on Facebook, on Insta, on YouTube, on Spotify, on TikTok. Did I forget anything? I don't have a
Apple
MySpace page. I'm
Podcasts.
sorry. Apple
Oh,
Podcasts.
I wish we had a MySpace page. That'd be cool.
I don't. Who was the
Can
guy?
we go back
Todd?
to that?
Is everybody friends with Todd? Was that his name? Or Matt?
Tom.
Tom. Wow. Well played. That was actually a question on. It was
Me, you're
social
not a
media trivia.
millennial. Tell me you're not a millennial without telling me you're not a millennial.
There you go. Gen Z. I'm Gen X.
Oh my gosh. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining us for this episode, and we will see you next time. Happy cruising.
Happy cruising.